Okay.
Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome everyone to our speaker coffee chats for our 17th annual Canadian Holistic Nutrition Conference. We are very excited. Our topic this year is holistic nutrition, exploring the spectrum of wellness. We have two dates this year. One, we are in Calgary, Saturday, April 12th, and Toronto on May 10th. I'm Joanna Brown, your social media manager for the CSNN Alumni Association, which proudly supports this conference. And we are very excited today. We are joined with one of our Calgary speakers. Thank you, Dr. John Ramotowski, for coming and joining us today.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate the welcome. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
excited to be speaking at the conference this year. It's such a great opportunity. It's amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, now your topic, supporting healthy aging through nutrition and lifestyle. Can you tell us a little bit about why you're so passionate about this topic?
Yes, certainly. Well, this kind of started back from when I was actually 5 years old. So it's interesting. So when I was five, I was diagnosed as type 1 diabetic since that time period. So since that time, nutrition has been extremely important to me. It wasn't optional, it was survival for me. So my background as well, European background, all I was exposed to at that time was whole foods, nutritious foods. My family never went out to restaurants or anything like that. In fact, I actually never tried Chinese food at a restaurant until I was 21.
Oh,
It's
wow.
funny. So I didn't even know what it was all about. So it was that stuck with me throughout my upbringing and my growing up, etc. So after when I started university, my first degree in economics, I had a bunch of management jobs, management roles, and to me that wasn't my passion. I felt a pull to do a lot more than that. So something meaningful. So nutrition is in my life. I pivoted to nutrition and I went back to school to CSNN actually in 2011, graduated 2012. And it lit a fire in me. I had this fire lit that wasn't enough. I had to keep going. So I started actually a business. I was dealing with clients, etc., helping clients do things. And I continued my education with a master's degree at the American College of Healthcare Sciences, focusing on the science aspect of nutrition, and then continued on with my doctorate degree, which I just recently graduated in June of last year.
Oh,
So,
congratulations.
yes. So I'm hooked on the idea that aging isn't fixed. Like you can have somebody who's 70 who's in better shape than somebody who's 40. So that is because of lifestyle, nutrition. And the funny thing is, there's only like a 20% or 30% chance of it being genetic. All the rest is environmental. So it's not fixed. So that journey it proves for me to basically rewrite and help people with the right tools to age properly and age better and age have a better health span versus lifespan,
Mhm.
right? So I've watched my own family age. I've seen how they can thrive, etc., especially my parents and my in-laws, how they're struggling with certain things, and I'm helping them out as much as possible. So nutrition's been that anchor since my childhood. So it's my mission to show others its power.
Oh, love that. Thank you for sharing
Thank
your
you.
story
Thank
with us.
you.
Now, what can we learn to expect from your presentation at the conference
Okay.
this year?
So the overall, basically, what I'll talk about during the presentation is aging is not set in stone. So it's not set in stone. Just because you're 80 doesn't mean you have to be 80 or 70 or whatever the case may be. It's modifiable. I'll speak about how modifiable it is and focusing on health span, like I mentioned, not just lifespan. So health span, again, being the amount of times and years that you're healthy versus the amount of time in your lifetime. So you don't want to spend the last 20 or 30 years being unhealthy of your life. You want to be as healthy as possible, right? So you'll see what drives aging, first of all. You'll see what oxidative stress does, what inflammation does to the body, mitochondrial decline, and how to fight those. So I'll explain how diet tweaks gene expression. So epigenetics is involved with that too. So eating antioxidants and calming inflammation. A big one too is exercise. So exercise comes big. So strength training, building muscle, cardio, boosting mitochondria as well in our cells. Sarcopenia starts setting in from when the time we're about 30 or so, and our muscle mass depreciates and goes lower and lower as we age. We want to keep that up,
Mhm.
right? The other big one is our macros, our nutrition. So anti-aging, protein to preserve our muscle, fats for our hormones, carbs for our energy, things like that. So stress, another big one. I'd say probably the biggest one is stress.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
stress ages us. And I'll give tips on how to manage that, plus gratitude and things like purpose and how that rewires our health. Big one too, and that relates to is relationships. So connections, lower stress levels, and add years to life. A big example with that was isolation during the pandemic. How many people were isolated, especially elderly, and were passing away, etc. And even younger people. It was affecting us dramatically. So it wasn't very healthy for us. So you'll learn about dodging other things like environmental toxins, like BPA, pesticides that speed up aging as well. We want to keep away from that.
Yeah.
Another thing too, as we age, of course, our hormones start dipping. So we go into menopause, we go into andropause, bioidentical hormone therapy. I'll speak briefly about that and how important that could be as well in assistance with a proper lifestyle too. And then I'll bring it home with case studies. So real people, real results, like a 60-year-old running marathons again. So basically, expect a mix of takeaways, science, why it works, and how to start today.
Oh, I love that. I love so a jam-packed presentation is what
Yes,
yeah,
yes, it'll
yeah,
be
yeah. Yeah,
exciting. Yes,
so
jam
good, so
packed.
good. Now you're speaking to, I mean, a large group of holistic nutrition practitioners. We love food. Will we learn some takeaways that maybe we can even use not only with ourselves, but with our clients, like some real tangible things we could add to our plate today?
Certainly. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. So with with foods, of course, and strategies, I'll load you up with that information. So food strategies, practical stuff for ourselves, our clients. I'm always on my family's case with what to eat and what not to eat. They probably don't like inviting me for dinners that much anymore. Just kidding, of course. So, of course, I'll talk a little bit about the importance of the different macros, proteins, and where they come from, which best foods to choose, our different macros, our carbohydrates, things that are not as healthy for us, like the simpler ones that cause our sugar and to spike or our blood levels to spike as well, which is not something we want. So healthy fats that fuel us properly as well. I'll talk about strategy. So strategy with food, with picking the right types like fiber and things like that as well. Swapping, so basically swapping foods that are better foods to swap for what we're currently maybe doing as well. So better type of foods that are better for our bodies and better for lowering inflammation and things like that as well. So timing our carbs. When's the best time to time that? So is there a better time? Is it better to time that with pre-exercise, after exercise, things like that, so we don't cause those sugar spikes again. So fermented foods, I'll briefly talk about fermented foods as well. And I'll talk about some case examples too, with how some individuals were adding things like salmon and doing that in conjunction with exercise and how energy soared in weeks for those individuals, right? So a little bit on fasting as well. I'll talk a little bit about fasting and how that could benefit our lifestyle too.
Amazing. So bring our notebooks and
Yes,
a
there you
pen
go.
and be
Bring
ready to
notebooks.
take notes. Yeah.
Yeah, the good thing is for this is that this is going to be beneficial for everybody, whether you're a nutritionist or not a nutritionist, or whether you're just somebody looking for more great information to go forward with to age a very healthy life and have a better longevity.
Yeah. Well, I am very excited for this presentation. Now, before we let you go, we love to ask all of our speakers, is there maybe one fun fact about yourself or a hidden talent that we don't know that you would share?
Yes. Oh, I guess I could tell you a few things, but
Yeah.
one fun fact about myself is I love sports cars, especially Corvettes.
Okay.
That's one thing about me. So I really love cars, sports cars especially, and of course you'll find my second home is my gym. That's basically it. So those are I guess fun facts about me.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing your story. We can't wait for your presentation. Now, if you do not have your conference tickets yet, you can find them at csnnalumni.org under the conference tab. And whether you attend Calgary or Toronto, if you're out in Toronto, Do not worry, you will not miss this amazing talk. You will get the speaker recordings for all of our speakers in both Calgary and Toronto. The conference is open to all wellness practitioners, students, and the public. So be sure to get your tickets. Our early bird sale is on now. Again, thank you so much for taking the time. I will be in Calgary this year, so I cannot wait to come and see your presentation live.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.